Hello, this is Jill from Paper Daisy Crafting. Thank you so much for joining me today. How are you all today? Well, I hope. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demo here in the UK, bringing you paper crafting projects which I hope will inspire you to have a go yourselves. Right, okay, today we are making this little card. I had a new team member join my team, and I had one of my team members who reached a stampiversary and had a birthday. So I've just been making these cards, and I'm going to make a couple of extras as well, so I've got them in my stash ready to send out when we've got celebrations. So I made one in orange and yellow, so I did pumpkin pie, mango melody and daffodil delight mounted on mango melody. And I don't know if you can see, I've debossed some lines around the edge just to give it a little bit more interest. And then I've used Hooray. Now this is from a retired set with well-written framelets, but I'm holding on to a set because I quite like the words and I like the die cut. So this one just says a hooray with an exclamation mark. And then on this one I did it in 3 colours of purple, so I used Gorgeous Grape, Highland Heather and Fresh Freesia, mounted it on Gorgeous Grape, and this time I embossed the lines around, so you can either deboss them or emboss them just to give it a bit more interest. So, and then just a white panel inside. So let me show you how I made it. Right, I'm starting off with a piece of Bermuda Bay. I'm going to do 3 shades of turquoise this time. So Bermuda Bay, it measures 14.5 this way, centimetres this way, and I'm just scoring at 10.5, like so. I'm just going to bring my bone folder in to burnish that fold, that crease, that score line, and then just round, just because if I cut it with my trimmer you get a bit of a lip, and I just want to get rid of all of those. So that's our base card. Then need a piece of Whisper White. I'm going to stamp and then I'm going to cut it down, so it's too big at the minute to go on our panel, but I'm going to stamp first just in case I don't get it very central. So these are my 3 colours today: Pool Party, Coastal Cabana and Bermuda Bay. So I'm going to start off with Coastal Cabana in the middle, because that's the middle colour. It's not the darkest, not the lightest. And oh, and I'm using here, nearly forgot to tell you, where's my stamp set? No, not that one, the here. I'm using this splodge from the Painted Poppy set. I just wanted a sort of watercoloury splodge and looked through my sets, and that was the one that came out. So it's intended to be put on top of this to make a sort of watercolour poppy, but I think it looks quite good on its own. You can see, just looks like 3 watercolour splodges. So let's pop this one in the middle, like so. That's Coastal Cabana. I'm going to have to clean this off with my chamois. You can see it looks a bit of a state, but it does a flipping good job of cleaning the stamps. You can see there, absolutely little effort. And then I'm going to do Pool Party, and I'm going to turn my stamp around a little bit so that they're not all exactly the same direction. So I'm going to do this one round this way, overlap it a little bit. Doesn't have to be ever so precise. So that's my Pool Party. And again, just clean it off on the chamois. Couple of dabs and it's done. Absolutely brilliant, the chamois. And don't forget that I've got a special offer on, that if you order a chamois from me, from my online shop, I will send you a free case. So I keep mine in a stamp case. This is just one of our normal stamp cases, but you have to buy them in packs of 4, which I think if you just want it for a chamois, it's a bit much. So what I do is, if anybody buys a chamois from my shop, I send them a free case to keep it in. So hope you'll take advantage of that if that's your thing. Right, okay, and we're just going to do another one in Bermuda Bay, like so. There we go. There's our 3 colours, turquoisey colours. And then we just want to cut this down to fit on our card blank, which I can't see anywhere. Oh, there it is. So I'm just going to measure, make sure we've got this centred first of all. So That's about 7/8 of an inch from the edge, and this is about 3/4, so I need to just cut 1/8 of an inch. Where did I measure it to? So 3/4. Just need to cut a little bit off the edge here before we start. There we go, just to make sure we've got the central image, and then I'll just cut the same amount off each side. So I just want to even that up a bit. And then, now my card base measures, let's do this in centimetres, 14.5, and this pick mark measures 14.2. Now if it's 14.5 and I want 1/2 centimetre, I need to cut this down to 13.5, and at the minute it measures 14.3, so I need to cut off 4 millimetres of each side. I'm going to use my little chopper to do this, I think. Oh no, I'm not. I'm going to do it with my trim because you can do it on the other side. So what I can do is I can bring it up to 4 millimetres there and trim that off, and then turn it round and do another 4 millimetres this side. There we go. Line that up. That should now layer quite nicely onto our, yeah, with a nice big border. And now we need to do the same with the top and the bottom. So this should measure 10.5, which it does. So I need this to cut this down to 9.9. Oh no, I don't. 10.5, 9.5. So I think what I'm going to do is cut 1/2 centimetre off each side, and that should be roughly right. Doesn't matter so much if this isn't centralised, this bit, because it can be more up than down. Let's see. There we go. There, perfect. Right, before I glue that down though, I'm going to take something that I don't often use these days, because I quite often use my trimmer to do any scoring, but it really is helpful to have the scoreboard to do this because of all the regular grooves that you've got. So what we're going to do, I'm going to turn it over because I want these to be embossed rather than debossed, and I'm going to take my scoring tool and use the large ball, and I'm going to score 2 lines that are 1/8 of an inch apart, and turn round and do 2 lines 1/8 of an inch apart, and then turn it round again, 2 lines 1/8 of an inch apart, and then again. And this just gives you a very subtle but just a little bit more interest on the card than what you would have had. Just a border without introducing any more colour or anything, like so. And that is going to glue onto our card base. So there we go. I was saying on my last video, I have lots of these white panels cut to this size. I cut up a whole pile of Whisper White, and then just have these panels because I find I use them all the time. I'm always mounting Whisper White onto some colour or other, and so I just cut a sheet of Whisper White into quarters and then just have a pile of them ready to use. There we go. That is going to go in there, and I've already die cut my Hooray. So here's the Hooray die from the well-written words, and then also the exclamation mark. Oh, it's in my magnetic tray, I couldn't get it out. So I've already cut those out ready. So I'm just going to make sure this is going in the right place, so fairly central. And then it's just a very simple little card, but just a nice little card to say congratulations or welcome to the team, or, you know, any sort of celebration. Of course, you could change what the die cut word says. You could do, we've got the amazing thanks dies in the catalogue at the minute, and they would be great. You could do thanks, or you could do you are amazing, which would be lovely. So there we go. And then just just do the, so you can either do the exclamation mark straight. I'm going to do it a bit of a jaunty angle this time, and the easiest way to do the dot underneath is to put a little blob of Tombow on there and then try and pick up a dot. I cut out several because I keep losing them. Dot under there, and that's it done. Apart from, we of course want another white panel to go inside because it's on Bermuda Bay, which isn't particularly easy to write on. So again, and this time what I would do is just take a pencil. So I've got a border here, so I would do the same length border there and a border up there, and I'd do it there, and then just trim that panel down like so. I find that's quicker, and when you don't need to be terribly precise, I find that much more quicker and easy than measuring and doing things to a precise measurement. But of course, feel free to measure if you feel a bit more secure with that. Remember, I've been making cards a long time. I don't know if I've told you this, but I started making cards when I was pregnant with my oldest daughter, who is now nearly 29. So I've been making cards a long time, not always with Stampin' Up. Of course, I've only been with Stampin' Up for 5 years. So I did a lot of card making before then. I've got a business selling my non-Stampin' Up cards that I've had online since 2009. And I joined Stampin' Up in 2016, I think. So I already had a card business before I joined Stampin' Up. So I'm just trying to say, you know, it's not that... you know, not trying to say I'm expert or anything, but I have had a lot of experience, and if anything can go wrong, it will have gone wrong for me, and I've learned how to put it right. Right, so we've got a very pretty selection of Hooray cards there, which I'm really pleased with. Just my style, clean and simple, very easy. Not a lot of, less is more in my book, always, less is more. Anyway, that's it from me today. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't subscribed, please pop down and press the subscribe button. It doesn't mean you have to watch every one of my videos. You can just ignore them from now on if you like, but it really does help my reach if you subscribe. So that would be fantastic. And if you have enjoyed it, then do pop back again soon and see what else I'm up to. Thanks very much for watching. Bye.